Alright, what is up, guys? It's Camo Kid 556 back with another video. So this video is tiny bit different than my other videos. I'm gonna be going over some of the travel jobs that I've had and some of the fun stories that I have from my travel work. Because currently, as you guys know, I work on a military base, Fort Sam Houston. I am a foreman for a welding shop on the base, and I miss travel. I miss my travel work because it was just so fun. So I figure to kind of give myself some nostalgia and give myself some memories and try to move past that part of my life. I just go over some of the fun stuff that I have done for my travel work and some of the fun stuff that I did during the jobs during my off time. So without further ado, my first travel job I actually still have on here on this YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm just moving the camera a little bit. So if you go back a little bit, my first travel job was to Wisconsin. It's still on my channel. I went to Wisconsin for a CNC job at a factory that made tractors. I'm not sure how much I can say just because I signed contract and I'm not supposed to talk about certain parts, and I can't tell you what company it was for and stuff like that, but it was really fun. And I'm not gonna say which company it was because from time to time they still reach out, and like I said, I loved doing travel work, but I feel like that it was very unstable. When I went to Wisconsin, I was there for 3 months. It was a strike, so I was known as a scab, and it was a union strike for a tractor assembly factory. You can probably look this up, but that was my first travel job. My second travel job was to Woodlands, Texas, which is right above Houston. So when I officially moved to Texas, I drove my old car, my old SUV, the Mazda, from New Hampshire to Texas, and I worked in a warehouse in Woodlands for, when was it? It was for a good 3 to 4 months. And then that one ended. That was the one that, if you saw my last video, that was the one I met my friend Sam at. Samuel, shout out to him. Miss you a ton, buddy. Hope heaven is fun. That one was pretty fun. Not a lot happened at that one for me, other than meeting Samuel, but it was a good contract. I helped out where I could, and it was a good time. I got to visit Houston a lot when I was there. The one I worked before in Wisconsin, it was a 12-hour, 6-day-a-week travel with transportation and stuff provided. And the one in Woodlands was a 12-hour, 5 days a week. And the transportation was not provided at that one. And the hotel, there's this thing that you get when you're doing these travel jobs called per diem. So the per diem is for hotel, lodging, and sometimes travel. It can range from, like, some companies, I'm not going to say which ones, some companies provide travel and housing together, and they pay you a lower per diem because of that. So it's mainly for, like, food, phone bill, like, and just general, like, general stuff like toothpaste, mouthwash, clothes, boots if you need them, and that's it. Some of them they don't provide housing and transportation. Some of them pay more. So some of them only pay like anywhere from $50 to $75 a day per diem. Like the one that I was at in North Carolina, which is the next one. But some of them pay a higher per diem when they don't provide transportation and housing. So the one in the Woodlands, that one did not provide transportation and housing. So that one I got paid, I think I can say this, I got paid $150 a day per diem. And that was for hotel or my apartment and gas and everything else, food, all that stuff. The one in Wisconsin was $130, and they provided transportation, but we had to pay for our hotel, our own food, and a couple other, like, we had to pay for our own stuff, and they gave us money to do that. The one in North Carolina was not like that. The one in North Carolina was, that one was a 3-month contract as well. And that one was, the company paid for a hotel, they paid for transportation, and that was, they paid for both of them. So I didn't have to pay for a hotel, and I didn't have to pay for a ride to work. So that one was only $75 a day. And a couple of the other ones I did after that one were also, $50 a day, $75 a day. Some of them provided housing and transportation, and they were a little bit higher than that, like $100 a day, but those ones are very rare. So the one that I did in North Carolina was also a manufacturing plant. It wasn't a warehouse. They made parts for like Polaris and stuff, and that one was pretty fun. And then from there, after that one was up, which was a 3-month contract, I moved from that one to another one with a different company, because I switched from one company to another one because I had better rates and stuff. I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That one was pretty fun. I went to Dollywood a couple of times. I got to go to like the Gatlinburg Strip and go see all like the attractions and stuff that they have on the strip. It was a really cool place. They definitely had a lot more to do than like North Carolina and Woodlands and Wisconsin, but it was pretty fun. That one was also a $75 a day because they paid for housing and transportation to and from work. So that one was fun. That one is where I got my car stolen too. So, and I mean, in the middle of that one, they had a contract that they were trying to find people for up in Alaska, and I said I would want to go up to Alaska, but that one got canceled at the last minute because they couldn't find enough people, I guess. So they flew us up to Alaska. We got a little bit of a pay bump for like 2 days, and then on our way back to Tennessee, I stopped in Atlanta, Georgia, because I couldn't go from I couldn't go to the airports in Tennessee. I had to go down to Georgia because it was closer than the one in Nashville, I guess, or something. I don't know exactly why, but they scheduled some in North Carolina, and then they scheduled some out of Georgia, and so I went to the one in Georgia, flew out, had 2 day break, and then came back and got right back to work. Then my car was stolen. Not fun. So after that, I had like a 2 or 3 month break. Went home, saw my family for a little bit, went back down to Texas, had a little bit more of a break. It was like a 2 month gap, and then I got a job in Ohio at another manufacturing plant. That one was a 6 month contract, which was fun. It was very fun. And then that one, they didn't pay for transportation or housing. So that one we were getting $150 a day per diem because it was in Ohio, Mason, Ohio. It was a pretty cool place. That one was like a 12-hour. Most of the contract jobs I have done are either 12-hour shifts, 5 days a week, or 6 days a week, and or 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week. So that's what you do during like these contract jobs. Some of them might be different, some of them might not be different, but that's what I was used to. So when I was in the jobs in Ohio and stuff like that, that was basically what we were working. So after the one in Ohio, I went to one in Pennsylvania for the very end. It was a different company for the very end of a strike at a train manufacturing company, funnily enough. You can probably look them up. There's not a lot of train manufacturers, so you can probably guess which one it is. That one was fun for a little bit, and then after that, funnily enough, I went back down to Texas for 9 months, and I got my welding certifications and stuff like that. And after I did that, I applied for a job as a welder in a silver mine, and this is my last contract. And for this one, I fucked up really badly. So my last contract, my last travel job was in I got the contract, 12-hour shifts out in the middle of Wyoming, Little America, Wyoming, out in the middle of nowhere in a silver mine. And it was welding, and I can't tell you any of the specifics on how much I was paid, but that one was the transportation and housing were all paid for, but because we were out in the middle of nowhere, that one was the one. Even though transportation and housing was paid for, we got $100 a day per diem, so we wouldn't have to worry and stress and stuff, which was fine. It was an awesome experience. You all know what happened afterwards, but that was my last travel job, and I don't know, it was a really fun, 3 or 4 years. It was fun. I love traveling. I love going new places, and traveling for work is very, very stressful. If you guys do travel jobs, you'll know what I mean. Missing flights, baggage, carrying tools through TSA and stuff. Like making sure that you have the right equipment with you, buying tools when you get there. That was ridiculous. I had to buy a bunch of tools when I went to Wyoming because they said, "Oh yeah, all tools are provided." And then we get up there and they were like, "All right, we're going to the store because y'all have to buy your own." Like they provided the when they said tools will be provided, they meant like machines and rods and stuff. They didn't mean anything else. I had to buy a new welding mask. I had to buy goggles, like torch goggles. I had to buy fittings. I had to buy rods. They already had rods and stuff, but I bought my own just in case we ran out. I had to buy a new set of gloves. I had to buy leathers for my arms because they didn't tell us to bring any of that stuff because they said everything would be provided. So I had to buy basically all my PPE and stuff like that. So yeah, it was fine, but I miss travel. I miss travel jobs. Travel jobs were like what I wanted to do. I wanted to be paid to just fly around and do different work in different places. So that was like a dream of mine since a kid. But that part of my life is over. Really wish I could do it again. I have had a couple of offers since then, but can't bring myself to do it because I don't want to deal with the stress anymore because one, very inconsistent. They sometimes promise you like, oh, it's going to be a year-long contract and then you're out in 3 months. Or oh yeah, we're preparing for this project and we're getting deployed here to train, and then you're there for 2 months and they're like, oh yeah, they didn't end up doing it, so bye. And some of them are just, oh yeah, we're going to help out, we don't know how long we'll be there, and then it lasts way longer than you think, like the Ohio job, because they were like, oh yeah, they need help for like 3 months, and then we were there for 6. So very inconsistent, but it was fun. It was fun while it lasted, and maybe I'll do it again, but I'm not planning on doing it anytime soon. And on that note, that has been reminiscing about the travel jobs I've done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you're new. Share the video to anybody who might like to hear these stories. Leave some travel stories down below. I would love to hear them. And until the next video, guys, I will see you when I see you. Peace.